Okay. Got South Dakota State this week. I'll make a trip out there on Friday to Brookings. It's supposed to be a nice day, about 67 degrees, so we're excited about that. It's going to be hobo day for them, and we look forward to the trip. They have obviously a good football team. They've been good for a while. Glaring thing, obviously on the offensive side of the ball, they got a really big receiver in Schneider, good size, big body, makes a lot of plays. And then they got a compliment with him at running back, Zenner. He's probably one of the best running backs of all time in our league. And then defensively, you look at just last week alone, they hold Northern Iowa to 300 yards. They're just really sound in what they do, keep the ball in front of them. And, they don't get out-gapped, and they make plays. They had 3 picks in that game. They got 3 picks, made a 44-yard kick there at the end of the game to win the game. So got a good football team. Nothing's changed with them. And we look forward to the trip going out there and getting ready to go. Today we'll go to Rayen. I changed the practice over to Rayen over there. It's probably a little bit better of a field than Cheney. Ed Mady worked with us and helped us out on that. So we'll meet at 2 and jump on the buses and get ready to practice at 3:30.
Is there a big adjustment going from grass to turf or turf to grass?
Well, I think there is when you look at it. I don't think we've adapted very well playing on grass, and we never do it. We don't do any conditioning on grass. We don't do nothing on grass. So that's something that I'm going to commit to, practicing Tuesday and Wednesday on the grass and getting our kids used to it.
I feel like you've been coaching against Zenner for 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah, he's a good player. It's like Michael Pruitt, same deal. Those guys seem like they've been in the league forever. And good players and great kids, and that's a compliment to them. I really like the way he carries himself and handles his business, and I love the way he runs. He's a good football player. I love good running backs as much as I do anything, and I appreciate him.
How do you make him less good this Saturday?
That's a good question right there.
That's why I asked.
I don't know. You gotta find a way to keep him in tight spaces, and next thing you know, he'll pop one on you or break a tackle and rip one off, and he's got the top end speed to take it to the house at any time. So you got to be a short tackler and try to keep him contained, and you have to do all those things within your system though, and not let them throw the ball over your head, So you got to be sound and pick and choose your battles.
What about playing out there? It's their hobo day. They're selling standing room only tickets. Just the atmosphere out there.
They have a great atmosphere. It's always sold out crowd. They have a hobo day. Obviously, it's a theme, and everybody dresses up, and all the guys grow their beards out and those kind of things. And it's a great college atmosphere. It really is. So it's a compliment to them and their fans and their community for showing up and making it a rowdy crowd. They always give you a piece of advice on the walk to the field.
What are some of those advices?
What's that?
What is that?
You don't want that in the media. You know what I mean?
Coach, the big word today has been physical. Over the last half dozen years, the post-mortem against South Dakota State is how physical they are. That was the difference in the game. How do you feel about their physicality this year?
Nothing's changed. They're still physical. They're a physical group, and we're gonna have to match their physicalness up front when we make tackles and everything else. When we get tackled, we're gonna have to be physical. We run routes, we're gonna have to be physical. Whatever we do, we're gonna have to be physical. The way we play the game. If you're on the field, you better plan on being physical.
Do you change the way you practice, to kind
No,
of breed that kind of?
No, we just go about our business. We can be physical too. I think we showed last week that we have potential to be physical. We played a much bigger team last week than us, and we got physical. So we just gotta keep growing. We got a pretty young team, and with that comes experience. And every play that goes by, these guys are getting more experience, and more experience they get, the better they can become.
I think they're in the top 5 of time of possession on all of FCS.
33 minutes.
How have they been able to do that?
Well, they obviously possess the football, and defense, they get a bunch of 3 and outs. Northern Iowa game, they had Northern Iowa's offense was 3 of 12 on third down, and didn't convert a couple of those till late. So they're very stout on third down, and a couple of those were quarterback scrambles or quarterback draws.
Their offensive line didn't allow a sack in the second half of that game as well. Have they improved?
Oh yeah, they're good, and I think schematically what they do, they put their players in a good position to be successful as far as maybe guys not being on islands and creative when they call those plays.
This is, assuming you stood your starter Hunter's first road game, what kind of concerns do you have in that kind of situation for him?
I mean, you've seen him. He doesn't get rattled. He's just calm and cool. Just kind of goes with the flow. It doesn't seem like anything really phases him as far as just what goes on. That's kind of what makes him so unique. Just back there in the pocket, everything he does, something goes wrong or something bad, he can tell you exactly what happened, sees the whole field.
Do you bring up last year, or do your players bring up last year's game?
No, I mean, that's, every year is a different year, and we know what's at stake in this game. No different than last week's game. We got 2 teams that are right there neck and neck for the same spot. They're 5-2, we're 5-2, and they got a conference loss, we have a conference loss, and this game could have implications on the end of the year.
Is there secondary a little suspect at times?
I don't see anything suspect about them.
How about, just letting the quarterback, everybody's kind of familiar with Austin.
Well, I mean, obviously they had a bad break there at the beginning of the year with Austin getting hurt, but he stepped in and, he's made some good throws, I mean, when you got a 6'5", 225-pound target, he's not hard to find, and get down in on him too much, they'll find a way to get the center of the ball out of the backfield or different guys. So, like I said, you got to be sound, and you can't just focus. Like last week, you can't just worry about covering Michael Pruitt. You got to cover them all.
Any major injuries or anything that?
No injuries. Damon Himes will still be out, just being precautionary there. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be safe there. But other than that, I think everybody's back. Dylan Kaluch should be back. He didn't play last week. We started the freshman Cameron Frazier, did a pretty decent job at left guard, so it's a good experience for him for the future.
Is South Dakota State a team that you can have the kind of success running the ball that you've had, especially like a crunch time last week?
I don't know. It remains to be seen. You better have some good schemed up ball plays, because if you run the standard stuff that you always do, they're going to have it well coached. They're well trained with their eyes, and they're going to know where you're at.